my beautiful aliens. Hello, and welcome back to the Authentically Blue podcast. I am your host, Calzone. It's currently 3:19 p.m., Friday, the 25th October, 2024. I'm in a very cozy room. I haven't recorded in this room ever. Think of a cottage and think of the highest, not the highest, but the corner room at the top of the house. That's the vibe. There's a bit of a slant. It's very small, very cute. There is mold on the ceiling, so it's not flexing or gorgeous or anything, but I love it. A few months ago, when I was living with some amazing family members, I was like, they were moving, so I wasn't going to live with them. Moving in September, October, November, and I was like, do you know what? I was trying to visualize and see what I would like, and every time I'd go for my walks, I would see at the top of the house, the most corner, I can't speak today. The corner rooms at the top of the house. And I was like, I love such rooms. And I ended up being in one, which is hashtag manifesting. That's kind of cool. In today's episode, I got a notification. The Bad Guy is coming to Netflix. Not promo, just saying. Guys, hold on. I think there's something playing in the background. Okay, it's paused. Great. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking all about winter arc. If you don't know what the winter arc is, this is when you use the colder months of the year to limit distractions, lock in, be disciplined. And it's usually, this is a phenomenal or a term that started, that was coined this October or end of September, but I found it the first week of October. My brother sent it to me. Shout out to you. And I'm not the type of person who would usually listen to follow trends and things like that, because I don't know, when things are really hyped up, it's just not for me. Also, my new year starts on February 1st, if you didn't know. It's nothing huge, nothing big. I just like chilling in January. I don't like the pressure and the expectation of everybody doing things and everybody in the gym. And I like going with the flow, which is why I love challenges. And this challenge is amazing and sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to leave a few videos, or you can Google on TikTok or YouTube winter arc, and you can find examples and clips of people doing it. And I think that's pretty cool to give you guys an idea and an example. For my winter arc, I have divided it into 5 points I'm going to talk about in this episode to encourage you guys to do the same. It's never too late. And one thing I forgot to mention in the intro is with the winter arc, people like to do it so that in January, when the new year comes around, you are already achieving goals that you want to set for yourself. So it's pretty cool to start the new year as new you. Kind of crazy. All right. The first thing is you need to for me, what I'm going to be doing, I'll say what I'm doing, and then you guys can get the idea and run with it. Do what works for you. This is not a preachy podcast. First thing I'm going to do is I sat down with myself. I did all of this today, by the way. I sat down with myself and I was like, what's my priorities for the next 3 months or 2 months? A huge thing for me is fitness. I haven't been working out this summer because I wasn't well. And I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel flexible. There's some points where I haven't even been doing my stretches. And from going to working out consistently and doing stretches almost daily to not doing anything for 3-4 months, my body is pretty stiff. So one of my huge goals is fitness. I want to get into the gym and just smash it out for the next month. I'm traveling in 2 months. A month now, end of November. And I'm not, if you know me personally, don't ask me where I'm going. It's a surprise. But when I show up, I just want to feel good and be good, because I'm not happy with how my body's fitness level is at the moment. Second thing I want to focus on this month is my work. I have a lot of deadlines and things I need to do. So those are the 2 things. The third thing, which is kind of linked to my first thing, is sleep. My sleeping schedule is a bit insane. And the last month, I'd say September, I've been sleeping more than I ever have. Literally not sleeping late. The past week I've been sleeping late. But when I say late, I mean 3-4 a.m. but usually I sleep, like September when I fixed my routine, I would sleep 11, 12. And sometimes I'd find myself waking up at noon the next day. So it's like my body needed to regulate the sleep levels, and being back to working and having loads of deadlines, I don't have time for that. So sleep is something I want to focus on. So you think of the two or three things that you want to focus on. Think of like quarterly goals that people usually set. I'm obsessed with those quarterly goals. If you don't know what it is, it's the month has the year has 12 months, and divide them by 3. So the first 4 months, the middle 4 months, and the last 4 months. And then you think of like your vision board. I'm using a lot of technical terms, as you like, not technical, but like leveling up, get my life together words or terminology, because I'm obsessed with this. If you haven't noticed, or if you're new here, I'm sure you know this. I've done a bunch of episodes on get my life together, getting out of a funk. And even researching for this episode, I was stuck on to-do lists, which is something I'll talk about in a minute. But I'm obsessed. So I'm obsessed with improving and self-improvement, because I find like the name of this podcast is Authentically Blue. And I personally have found myself in situations where days, weeks, months, even a year, sometimes it's happened, where I fall off my goals and I'm not ambitious and I'm feeling blue and I just don't want to do anything. And finding ways to get out of a funk, whether that's focusing on my fitness, focusing on a new hobby, whether that's crocheting, podcasting, reading, a new dance class, cooking, like doing things that I like doing, or indulging my senses and doing something different. I find that really helpful. So doing challenges is one of the most effective ways I have found to keep myself motivated and going, and it gives me the encouragement and discipline to do things, which I find really beautiful. All of this to say, it's normal to feel or find yourself in situations where you don't want to do or do things. And I have researched loads and loads of methods, like like I said earlier, getting my life together, leveling up, the different techniques, the different things people do. And it can be really overwhelming online. So challenges, like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself, are a great way. I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, I was describing the goals and why you should set 2 to 3 goals you should focus on for the winter arc. So with the quarter life goals, yearly quarter goals. So you know how I mentioned the 4 months, 12 months divided by 3. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and then September, October, November, December. I said that wrong. The 12 months of the year, divide them by 3. So that's January, February, March, 1 quarter. January, February, March, quarter 1. April, May, June, quarter 2, July, August, September, quarter 3, October, November, December, quarter 4. With this system of self-improvement, people usually set or focus on their 2 to 3 goals. And how they get these goals and segments is by focusing on, these are the categories. There's health, there's fitness, there's career, there's money, there's relationships, there's spirituality. So you pick an aspect from this and you focus on 2 to 3. For me, like I mentioned, I'm going to be focusing on fitness and work, because those are the things I need to smash out and demolish the next 2 months. And then, yeah, that's why. I rambled. Okay, that's what I meant to say. The second thing I would highly recommend is put your deadlines in a calendar. This is huge once you prioritized what you're focusing on. So for me, I have a lot of work deadlines. I put everything in my calendar so I can see and know, hey, this is coming up. We cannot miss or slack on this. And it makes my brain and myself more aware, which is really good. With fitness, I've seen some people say like I'm working out, or for example, gym time or sleep time or this. You can do that. if that works for you. For me personally, I like to keep it simple. If I have my routine set, so I know I'm waking up at this time, I need to be in bed by this time, which are things I need to rework on, by the way. I don't need to put that in my calendar, but if you're the type of person who likes everything laid out and that works for you, that's great. Personally, I find it a bit messy. The third thing I have is hobbies. This is huge. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but I'm obsessed with hobbies. I find hobbies such a fun way to live your life and indulge in things that you like doing. I feel like I'm repeating my words today, but I haven't podcasted in a minute, and the terminology is the terminology. I just got a reminder on my phone. Call my brothers. Oh, a fun thing you can do along the calendar is put deadlines on your phone to get reminders of, like, if you don't want to put everything down on the calendar, you can say like, hey, it's time to work out, or have you done this? I find that really fun. One reminder I do, this is more TMI, but it's for the girlies, is I would do, like, a week before my periods come, I would say emotional fuckery, just so I can know when I am about to cause chaos and feel very irritable. Back to hobbies. The hobby that I'm doing at the moment is reading. I'm currently reading The Final Empire by Branderson. I'm forgetting his first name. Stephen Branderson, I think his name is. But obsessed. Love the book. I feel like before I started the series, I was like, I feel like I'm joining a fandom, like the Harry Potter fandom or like the Taylor Swift fandom. It's kind of crazy. So, and I find with reading, it is there's no, what's the word? There is no advertisement and you're immersed in a world. I loved reading as a kid. If you're new to reading and want a book to read, I would highly recommend The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's such a fun, quirky book. I was traveling to London last week, and on my way back, I popped into was it WH Smith? I think it was WH Smith or Waterstones. It was Waterstones. Popped into Waterstones at the station, London Euston, and I saw a woman looking at books, and I was like, she picked up It Ends With Us and a few other books, and I was like, are you gonna read It Ends With Us? Have you seen the drama that was happening online? And she was like, no. I was like, the movie just came out. I watched the movie. I didn't read the book because I was like curious with all the insanity that was happening online. I kind of liked it, I'm afraid to say. It was okay. It reminded me of like coming of age movies I would watch, or I was obsessed with a few years ago as a teen. And I told her to watch the movie. If you want a book recommendation, I would recommend The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And she was like, really? I was like, absolutely. This book is amazing. Got me out of my book funk. I hadn't read the book. Sorry, guys. I don't know why when I'm trying to emphasize, I'm like move my hands a lot when I'm speaking. So I was like punching my, there we go again. Punching my thighs. My thigh and my mic is connected. It's near my thigh. Anyway, I've got to stop. What I was saying is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Amazing. Check it out. So I love reading. The fourth thing I'm going to recommend for the winter arc is journaling. I have a whole episode on journaling. I'm going to leave it down below. Recently, I find myself journaling things that affect me the most during the day. For example, if I have an epiphany in my head, or if I want to remember something, or I'm not sure how I feel about something, I want to unpack later onwards, or something, triggered me, or I made a realization, I'm like, this is interesting. This is an interesting development. I journal it. I would highly urge and recommend for you to journal as well, because with journaling, in hindsight, or when you look back, or as you're journaling even, you get to see how you think. I think there's a plane outside. Yeah, it's not the computer. I heard like a humming sound. I was like, what is that? There's a plane outside the window. Okay, let me grab my phone, find my notes. Yeah, with journaling, as you're journaling even, like I was saying, I don't know why I'm podcasting like I've never done this before. I'm speaking like I don't know, you guys. Forgive me. I'm getting back into the groove of podcasting. feeling a bit nervous. I can't lie. I'm like bum. But getting my points across. Yeah, as you're journaling, you get to see how you think and how you feel and unpack more on that, which I find really interesting. And then there goes the noise. Another form of journaling. There goes the plane, is what I meant to say. Another form of journaling that I'm obsessed with is gratitude journaling. Hands up, I haven't done this in a minute, but I want to get back to doing it because it reduces my stress and humbles me and reminds me that there are good things in my life. I can be grateful for having... So with gratitude journaling, you journal one thing you're grateful for each day. For me, I would say sometimes I'm grateful for my health, sometimes I'm grateful for my mind, sometimes I'm grateful for a certain person in my life, sometimes I'm grateful for the internet. Like, it could be sometimes I'm grateful for having a bed. Like, it's could be the most random things that bring you solace, peace and joy during the day, which I find amazing. And the final thing I have for you is to-do lists. And this had me restarting and starting this episode, I can't lie. Because, okay, what I wanted to originally say is, and I still want to say is, with to-do lists, I think you should brain dump everything you need to do and put them in your notes app and then checklist them. Brain dump everything into a to-do list, then organize them into categories. You can either do high priority, things you need to do today, things you need to get done soon, things you need to do later. I was struggling with this element of it because there's a lot of things that I haven't, like, I was introducing my aunt to Notion and I showed her my hot list, I like to call it, and I hadn't touched it in a few months, and she was like, this isn't effective, like this method isn't working because you haven't touched this in a few months. And I was like, yeah, but I haven't been productive in a few months, like chilling in the summer. So I think find methods that work. I'm trying to find a method that works for me, but to-do lists or noting things I need to do today specifically really helps. But yeah, guys, that is a wrap on the winter arc. I hope this episode was insightful and helpful. I'm going to leave resources down below for things that might help. And I hope you have a productive few weeks. Catch you next week. Ciao.